With a piece in my hand and bloodshot eyes, I walked to the water for a last goodbye. He begged so much, it clouded my mind. One thing's clear, the man's gotta die. Man makes right, so he said.
Dirty water is tough to tell.
Yeah.
There he is. Yep, that's a nice fish.
Just flip them in?
Yep. There you go. We're on an equal opportunity outfit here. The cameraman fishes at the same time, so Tanner,
that'll do for a first one.
Fish, yeah.
Absolutely.
First decent fish of the day.
Beautiful Lake
Oahe. Good enough. I'm gonna run the boat and get me one. Just gonna pass something along here. It's just kind of a little different wrinkle. Most people are familiar with the slow death method, which we have a slow death leader on here. Just a simple white bead, which is good everywhere, particularly good here on Oahe. But versus running a worm on that, what we found by just kind of goofing around here is a guy can run a leech on there, and what I do is I double hook that. I'll run that through the sucker there, and then if you can see, I'll come back behind and just grab another little piece of it there. And what that'll do is it'll hold it on there quite well so it can get pecked at, particularly if there's panfish around. And I think it helps it twirl a little bit, because what that does, that's doing there, it's just giving it that nice kind of wobbly back and forth motion to it there. And I think that's part of the key too. And they can't just knock it off like they would a worm when they're not fully committing to it. And on a dead rod, you do not have to worry about checking your bait near as much, because you can feel fairly confident it's on there. I'll show you folks another little tip here with the dead rod. See how he's starting to just barely, just hanging there. And a lot of times you go to get it out of the holder, you'll end up screwing it up and they'll get off. What I'm going to do is just I reel down on him, and that got the hook in him. Versus, like I say, a lot of times you try to get it out of the rod holder and they'll come off. He's just a little guy, but it darn sure demonstrates that. There you go. Something I'm doing here, and it's something that's really overlooked, particularly on these Missouri River reservoirs, is using a Lindy weight. So a lot of times these fish are super tight to the bottom, and everybody fishes bouncers. Wrench him in. Just a nice little eater, but what it allowed me to do is judge the attitude of the fish. You can see I did drop a little bit of line, and he got it all the way down. It tells me maybe on the next one, maybe I can just lower the rod back or just drop a small amount of line, so we're not hooking him quite that deep on the smaller fish. On this one, he's a nice little leader. It's good to go, no problems there. But just something to consider when you're on these reservoirs. You don't have to do what everybody else does. Particularly on Hawaii, these fish are cooperative. About anything you're good at will work. Just find a fish, put it in front of them, and reel them in.
Just sat back down with the new Lindy after I got bit off, and lo and behold, another fish hooked up.
Well, it's just kind of, if it's the right kind, he's got some shoulders to him.
Got a long leader on this one.
Oh, that's why.
That's why.
Little drummer boy. They were about ready to leave. It might have made us stay, but I think he'll make us leave.
They always make you feel like it's a big walleye on.
Not terribly big. Awful shaky. It will be. Thing we are noticing, and this is very typical of Oahe when the reservoir is in shape and full, is we got multiple year classes. This thing is an absolute factory. So it's good to see these little guys. Couple years from now, he'll be good to go. And I'm afraid we got cookie cutters. Yeah, bunch of little guys. We'll make a quick sashay through here. If we don't find anything better, we'll move on. But darn sure little guys. Oops. You can hear the alarm, folks. It shows you just how shallow a water we're in. We're in 5 foot and under here. And it's something on any body of water that is always overlooked as these shallow fish. Because quite frankly, they're easy fish because they're up there for one single reason, and that's to feed. And here's a critical point of it. This was on a dead rod just hanging there. I mean, he absolutely engulfed that. He didn't just take a nip at it, he ate it. So, moral of the story being, I always check shallow first. If you can get shallow fish going, I mean, you're gonna have easy action all day long. It doesn't take long to check them either. Whether you're pitching jigs, throwing a crankbait, or putting some live bait through them, if they're up there, they will tell you just nearly immediately. Yeah. There you go. It's a nice little eater. If you can hear over our young mascot we got here with us. And once again, this is on that double hook leech on that slow death hook, which works just perfect as a dead rod. And literally, I don't monkey with it. I let them load it up on their own, and you just pick up the rod, reel them in, and there you go. Oh, shook on him. He's a yield guy. Well, he's a borderline. Just showing you the numbers of fish. You know, that's an eatable fish if a guy was really hungry, but we'll get more.